Hi, I'm Peter Quintana from hgkc. It's holiday season, and whether you're planning to get away to the sun or staying at home and hoping it doesn't rain, you're probably thinking about some books to help pass the time. And I thought I'd just give you a few ideas based on some of the books we've read at hgkc Book Club over the years. Now, you might think that business books aren't really what you want to take with you, prefer the pot boilers or the mysteries or whatever it is that you read. But I've got 6 books here that perhaps might change your mind. And I want to start with this one. This is Legacy by James Kerr. It was the first book we read at Book Club. And we had Todd Blackadder, who at the time was head coach for Bath Rugby, join us because he's an All Black. And this is a book about the All Blacks and the culture that they've built, both in terms of leadership and just the way they play the game. They have the shirt for a temporary period. I'm sure you've heard that story before. They borrow it, they seek to leave it in a better place. And this is a fascinating book. There's lots of rugby stuff in it, of course. And I remember some of the people who came to Book Club that day thinking that they don't particularly like sports books, but the amount of notes that many of them took was quite extraordinary. There's a quote in here that I particularly like, and it's right at the beginning of the book. And it says, "A culture of asking and re-asking fundamental questions cuts away unhelpful beliefs in order to achieve clarity of execution. Humility allows us to ask a simple question: how can we do this better?" Well, I think you'll probably agree the All Blacks have been doing it better than many of the rest of the rugby nations in this world for a long time. Highly recommended, well worth it. Secondly, Top Dog, Andy Bounds, and co-written with Richard Ruttle. So Andy also joined us via Skype. So this book is about how to be able to influence people who you might think are, or at least think that they think they're superior to you. So if you run a small business and you want to negotiate some business with a larger business, this book is absolutely for you. It's full of practical solutions and guides as to how to write email, how to title an email so that it doesn't get ignored. And we've all sent emails that have been ignored, how to make a good first impression. Everybody wants to be top dog or to be able to influence the top dog. Well worth reading. Then we also read Simon Sinek's latest book a couple of years, maybe 3 years ago, shortly after it came out anyway. This is The Infinite Game. It builds on what he wrote in Start With Why in his famous TEDx video. It's not what you do, it's why you do it. That's what makes people buy from you. Money is a result of what you do, so it's all about purpose. So The Infinite Game is about how you choose to play in your business so that your business lasts forever. As you can see with all my little notelets in here. So it was a fascinating read. We had a really interesting conversation when we read that book, I remember. Perhaps a little bit heavier going, maybe, but nonetheless inspirational. Pivot to the Future. This is about discovering hidden value in your business. What are the things in your business that you could be doing better that would create additional value? And if you're thinking about your exit at some point in the future, this is a great book for you to have a look at. It talks about what we would typically call the 3 horizons of innovation, but innovating in the now, the tomorrow, and the future. So this is a slightly deeper read, as I said, but nonetheless, well worth it if you're thinking about how you can get some additional growth into your business. And the next one I want to suggest, this is a lovely book. This is Hubert Joly, The Heart of Business. He has built over the years a reputation for placing people first in a business. So this is all about how you really build high levels of engagement with your employees, and high levels of engagement mean high levels of productivity. If you like the idea of people and purpose and values and engagement in your business, this book is definitely for you. It's a wonderful read. I thoroughly enjoyed that. It's perhaps one of my favorite books over all of the 5 or 6 years we've been running Book Club. And then finally, Eat, Sleep, Innovate. I love this book too. It's how to make creativity an everyday habit inside your organization. So it talks about how you define innovation, because everybody defines innovation in a slightly different way. And it isn't just about technology, it's about actually everything that you do. So for us, the definition of innovation is something different that creates value. That could be anything. That could be the way you recruit, the way you network, the way you communicate with your market, the way you communicate with your people. All of those things could be innovated. And of course, product innovation too. But this is about building a culture of innovation using a technique called BEANS. I love this idea of BEANS. It stands for behavior enablers, artifacts, and nudges. So a behavior enabler is something that helps encourage somebody to carry out certain specific behaviors. So if you want to encourage curiosity in your business, you find an enabler to encourage people to be curious. And then you would identify some artifacts. These are things that you would reward people with if they show signs of curiosity, for example. And then, of course, the nudges are the reminders, the things that you would just encourage somebody on a day-to-day basis to be curious. That might be running a book club in your own business, but anyway, that's this. If you're interested in innovation, and frankly every business owner should be, then this is a great book for you. So those half a dozen business books might not have been your first choice for your reading list this holiday, but well worth checking out. Thanks very much.